now have some new backdrops. So that is cream. That is black. And that is white. We have been in the studio now for about 50 days. And over the span of 50 days, we have done a lot. So the last video I made, it was a lot different, a lot similar. We've done a lot more that has slowly tinkered this place, and it feels like it is 90% done now. When in reality, before it was about 50% done. So we've done a lot. So after 50 days in the studio, here are the biggest keys that I feel like I've learned. Number one, having a space to come and work and be creative and feel like nothing else matters other than being creative and getting work done has been one of the most productive things in my life. Having this place just to come and have a creative outlet has been massive for me. Number two, it has allowed me what I feel like to take myself more serious. I've always wanted a place like this, and now that I have it, it feels like there is just a little bit more pressure of showing up daily, of doing the things that I have to do, and that has been huge for me. Number three, I feel like this place is a visual representation of the fruits of my labor. I have wanted to have a place like this, so now that the fact that I do, and I've been building it out in the last 50 days, it is just a reminder of where I was 4 or 5 years ago. And now, through consistent work over the last few years, I have the capability to have a place like this and be in a place like this and pursue the things that I wanted to 5 years ago but wasn't able to. If you watched the first video, you know the background looks a lot different than it did before. So for the last month and a half, we have slowly been adding things to this place to make it feel like a creative community like we've envisioned at the beginning. So some of the things we have done, my buddy Caleb, my business partner who shares the space, he has added a gear cage right there. And if you watched my first video, you know that I said my gear cage was one of my favorite things about this place. So now having 2 gear stations even amplifies that more. Like, you can see the symmetric satisfaction of having them both right there, having the couch in the middle. It is starting to feel like a place that when we have clients here in the next month, and that's what this place is going to be. It's going to be a place where we can have people, where we can do production, we can do photo shoots, kind of just like a little creative community. So now it feels like a place that is welcoming to other people with the addition of the couch, the gear cage, and all the other things we've added.
Now here is an updated overview of the entire space. So when you first walk in, this is kind of what you see. You see the entire space as a full overview. You can kind of see everything. So one thing we've implemented, and this is one of my favorite parts, everybody who's coming into the space takes a Polaroid and signs their Polaroid and puts it on the archive logo wall. And so over the next few months, we're going to see that entire wall get filled with Polaroids. Now, here's what we did yesterday. So yesterday we installed 2 new backdrops. We had the white already, and now we have installed the black and kind of the cream colored I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called exactly, but I will put it on the screen so you know. Now, the goal for the backdrops is in the next month, we will begin taking headshots for local businesses and companies here in the area. Now, the idea and the goal is we will have this iMac set up with a tethering cable to our camera, and the people will be able to see their images live on that computer screen. And I will do a video of a behind the scenes of what that process looks like with clients live in here. But we will have a tethering cable into our cameras with a direct image viewing on the display. So as people are taking their headshots, they will be able to see what they look like live. So if they don't like it, they can reshoot them right there on the spot. They can get an idea of what they look like right there. And then by the time they leave this place, we will have them edited, sent to them within like 15 or 30 minutes. That is like our goal was to have this place set up so that it can be as efficient as possible. And I feel like we have done that already. For this back half of the studio, we have added a couch. I'm a big couch guy. I love leather couches. So this, I feel like, has almost tied in everything perfectly. We kind of just needed a place for people to sit when they're in here. We've had some people come see the studio, and it just felt really awkward for them not to have a place. So that is going to kind of be the hangout hub right here. So we've got the couch and we've got a rug. We're also going to be adding a table and then 2 chairs right here. So this will kind of just be like a hangout lounge. Now behind it is our current gear station. That is my setup on the right. That is Caleb's setup on the left. And that has been one of the most useful tools so far about the studio. So before I had the studio, I was working out of my home, which I loved, but having this place where I know where everything is, immediately at the snap of a finger, everything's ready to go, has been super useful. So what I have right now, this is like the charging station. Now the goal is to hardly ever have anything out here charging. That's why it looks bare minimum right now. So this, for example, is charged. When it is charged, it goes in this drawer. If something's in this drawer, so like I have 8 of my camera batteries right now. Like I know those 8 camera batteries are charged, ready to go. I know that this one that I plugged up last night, it's also good to go. So it goes in there. So anything that is in that drawer is completely ready to go whenever I need it. And then typically what I've been doing, just to make it look nice, whenever something is charged, I put the charger up as well. And I usually will tie that and put a nice little Velcro strap around it, but I put the chargers up. So in a perfect world, and as everything's going good, that is kind of what it should look like. There should be nothing charging. Everything's ready to go. So whenever I need to get things together, I'll come over here. This is where I keep most of my equipment, as in like camera equipment and stuff like that. So I'll open these drawers up, get whatever lens I need. I'll get whatever mics I need, drones I need, and I kind of lay it out there on the gear station before a shoot, so I know everything that I have and everything that I might need, and I can just see it. So having this little area as just like a little gear corner, a little workbench, has increased productivity and efficiency off the charts. I mean, it has literally helped keep me organized. It has literally helped,
just know exactly what I need versus not need. So that's been huge.
Now, this is my current desk setup that has came together in the last week or so. If you watched the first video I did, you know it did not look like this. So what I've done, some of the updates, I now have this monitor, and I'm not really sure what the monitor is. Caleb gave it to me. The only use I have for a monitor is simply using it as like a Safari tab. Like I'll have my email or like music bed, stuff like that pulled up where I can just have a window, and then I always edit on my laptop. I love the color of it. Screen's big enough where it's not like it don't feel small. I love just editing on my actual laptop and then having that just as a window pulled up. Maybe have YouTube pulled up if I need it. So that's what I use that for. And then I got one of the monitor risers just on Amazon. That's been super helpful just to be above the laptop. I got a lamp since last video just to kind of tie in the decor. And then one of my favorite parts about my desk setup is these prints that I've gotten from Bay Photo Lab, I believe. I've had 3 of them for a few years, but I got 3 more. And then I'll also probably add a 3rd row in there, up there, just to kind of make it cohesive with the door frame. But that is my setup for now, and I've loved it. It is super efficient. I don't like having a lot of things on my desk at once, so this is simple enough. I have my business and my wedding hard drives. My main hard drive, those are pretty much hard drives I use every single day. And then this is just like a little notebook I keep for notes and stuff. But I'm loving my desk setup right now. And then this little corner also has served as our podcast setup. So our podcast, we do a weekly podcast, Caleb and I, where we are talking about really all things business, camera, lifestyle, dad life. And so this is where we've been doing the podcast right here. We've been shooting it towards the wall, but this last episode we turned it around and we've shot with the entire studio in the background, and it looked phenomenal. So we'll probably continue to do that. So if you haven't seen the podcast, I'm going to link that below as well. We've had so much fun doing that the last 6 weeks. We're on episode 7 this upcoming week, and it has just been a blast to talk for about an hour a week. So you definitely want to check that out if you haven't. For now, that is what the studio looks like. It has been one of the most rewarding things so far being in this place, and seeing the progress has been so fun so far. Now in the next video, I will be making a 2-sided moving wall. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. One of the things we wanted to accomplish with this place was to build out multiple sets. So behind me, we have now 3 backdrops. So in our mind, those are 3 different sets that we could use for any type of production. One of the things I want to do is add a 2-sided double texture wall. If you've seen one of these, I know a lot of YouTubers with studios have these. And so with the addition of that in the next video, that will now be 5 settings or scenes that we could have for production in this place. So that is the goal in the next video. I will be creating a 2-sided wall with on wheels where I can push it up against a wall where it doesn't take up much room, or we can move it where we need to. And any company or client can have the option between pretty much 5 different sets in this place. But that is the studio update for now. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you watch the next one. Peace.